I'm so excited about my training, Becoming a Person of Influence, that's going to be on March 30th. I'm looking to do two sessions. I'm going to do a 11:30 to 12:30 session, and then I'm going to do a 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. session that evening, just for those that want to catch it after work hours. Um, it's going to be through Eventbrite on Zoom. But like I said, I'm just so excited about it because I really do want to make a difference in people's lives as far as personal and professional development, and in organizations to provide that development and that leadership training to increase their productivity in the workplace. But because my topic is influence, I just wanted to share with you a situation, a contract. I was on a contract for about a year, and it was a pretty taxing year because the environment wasn't a fun environment. I know work doesn't have to be fun. You just do your job, you get your task done. That's what you get paid to do. And then you go home and you do it all over again. But when I mean it wasn't fun, I'm not talking about standing around talking to each other or, playing on the internet or playing games. No, I meant where you got up and you were excited to go to the job. It wasn't exciting, and it wasn't fun, but I learned a whole lot from a couple of teammates I was working with. Now, I was with a small company, but there was an accountant, and then there was the administrative um, executive to the owner. But there was already a type of environment where the owner was a little taxing, if you will, on the employees. When I say taxing, they felt very stressed. They felt like it was a stressful situation, a stressful environment. So when I came into the environment, I spoke with them. We actually did a disc training, which is a great way of teammates, um, people that work together to get to know each other and their personality traits and how to deal with those personality traits with each other. So that was great. It was the first time I went through that, and it was a pretty good evolution to happen just moving into a company. And at the same time, it kind of broke the ice with everyone there, and you got to know everyone at the same time. So that was great. The DISC assessment is a great tool to use in your company just to create that kind of team camaraderie and at least show some value of getting to know your teammates and the people that you're working with. So we did that, and what I slowly found out was they didn't feel there was an accountability on mistakes that were being made. The accountability was holding them accountable instead of admitting the mistakes were not theirs, but here's how to move forward so we all make sure that this doesn't happen again. So the employees didn't have a good trust factor with the owner, and of course our immediate supervisor and boss. There was the young lady there, young lady, but she was a little older, and she was there. I would hear sometimes because I would get in right after her. And when I came in, I would hear her on the phone sometimes. And then I'd hear the phone hang up, and then I'd hear her in the other office, deep breaths. And I was like, man, what is going on? So I would walk over to the office and say, is everything okay? You know what? I'm sick and tired of this. I'm tired of all everything is my fault. And she never said thanks. She never said thanks. She never shows any appreciation. But soon as something goes wrong, it's all my fault. And I know I told her this yesterday and I showed her this yesterday. And she said she would do it. And now it's my fault. And I just don't know what to say. I'm just sick and tired of it. Now, myself being a professional, I did not agree on either sides because I don't even didn't even know the other side. I listened to her and then I said, well, have you tried speaking to her about this? Did you try actually writing down some of your problems that you would like to discuss and also solutions on how the situation can be improved? And then even express how you felt or how you feel about the interactions uh, that you all are having. And just those little conversations with her and me being a new person, after that conversation, every morning when I came in, I sat down, she would be in her office, she'd come out, she would get her coffee, and she would walk at my door and just kind of stare out the window. And I knew she wanted to have a conversation. So I said, hey, what's going on? And then she would complain about something again. And she had kind of built up a trust in me where she could really express her feelings about certain things that bothered her in the workplace. And I would listen. Now, when I said I would listen, I would give advice on how she can improve it and also kind of look at it from the lens of what can you do on your behalf to improve whatever issue that you're having. I would never talk about the owner. I would never give any negative advice for her, and I would not engage in the negative conversation, but I would listen to the conversation and then give neutral leadership or communication advice to her. So we had this relationship that we had kind of developed and built up. And it was when she was ready to vent, she would just come in my office when she wasn't there, and she'd come and talk to me, and I'd continue to talk to her. And this happened regularly, like I said. And when the contract ended, they couldn't keep me on because of salary issues. I was getting paid off the contract. And when I told her I was leaving, she said, are you serious? I'm saying, yes, the contract ended and they can't keep me. She said, what? I thought you were joking. I said, no, I wasn't joking. She said, And man, I heard that gas before, right? So I'm like, so everything will be okay. She said, well, I don't, I don't know what I'm going to do. You're gone. I don't know what I'm going to do. And when I heard, I don't know what I'm going to do, it dawned on me that I was her support while I was there. I was her support. When she felt frustrated, when she um, didn't want to deal with whatever stress she was dealing with, she would come to me. And she didn't come to me because I would agree with her, or she didn't come to me because I would talk negative with her. She came to me because I listened and I gave neutral yet educating advice. And I left. We had my going away. I left. And it was about 7 months later. Um, the accountant, and the accountant was going through situations like that as well with the owner. And the accountant, just to give you a backdrop on the accountant, and the accountant, I remember several times where um, I could hear what? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? I told you such and such. Where are you going to find this document? Are you going to find this receipt? So I knew he was under the same type of stress. So I would go inside his office and I'd help him look for receipts, and I'd help him do whatever little things that he needed to have done to provide her whatever supporting information she needed. And I would also, before I left, at this point, I was the project manager on a contract there. Um, Before I left, I would check in with him. Hey, is everything okay? You you good? You need some help with anything? So that's how I won the trust and also influenced those two with what teamwork was, what camaraderie was, and how to help each other handle whatever stress you may feel in the workplace. Now, that's the accountant. So I left, right? And then 6, 7 months later, um, the accountant actually calls me, and I'm not calling any names just because I don't want to call names. It's irrelevant. But um, these people were very, very influential to myself. So 6, 7 months, he calls me. Hey, Frank, you remember so and so? It's like, yes. Her sister called and said that she passed away. Soon as I get the funeral details, I'll give it to you. So I was floored. I'm like, what? She passed away? That was just like 6 or 7 months ago. She passed away. And it hurt me. So um, it hurt me so much until I had to, it almost felt like I lost a family member in that short period of time that we were there. It felt like I lost a family member. And it was so heartwarming for me when he called me to let me know, because he had seen that we had developed some type of relationship, a strong bond in that short year, a bond that was never um, developed with the owner and the employees. I had taken over that influential role with both. And they came to me for personal and professional conversations. So I go to her funeral and I'm standing there, and everyone got up, they spoke their words, they said this, they said that, and something moved me and said, do I dare talk about her at her funeral? Because nobody knows me. I only knew her for a year. Her family, no one knew me. And then I got up and I said, hey, I would like to say a few words. And they said, are you Frank? Yes, I'm Frank. So obviously she has spoken about me at her home or to family for some reason. Um, and she had also mentioned before that her niece, that her and my daughter could play at some point in time. It never happened. So I got up, said a few words, and what I said was how she influenced me. This is how she influenced me. I explained to you the relationship between the owner and the employees. I explained to you how she felt during conversations with her, when she just felt like she always was negative and always um, decreasing her value, as if she never did anything right. It was Employees Day, National Employees Day, or excuse me, National um, Employer Day, or National Boss Day. I'm jacking it all up. It's probably National Boss Day. She wanted to buy her a bouquet of flowers, or it was like a bouquet of teas and coffees, because she wanted to show her appreciation. And she didn't realize that, okay, if you're buying something for the boss, you don't have to do it yourself. You have to present it to other people so they can chip in. So it becomes, here's what we are presenting. So I had to kind of, tell her about that, because she paid for it and spent her money on it. So I gave her $20 on it. And the thing came, and it looked nothing like the picture that she imagined it was going to look like. It was crazy. She was like, I'm not giving this to her. It's like, what? I think it's okay. It's the thought that counts. It looks nothing like the picture. And I want to give her what I want to give her because it's coming from my heart. And I saw the emotion in her face. And I said, man, and I'm thinking to myself, as much angst as she has with her, she still wanted to do something out of her own heart for her. So she looked past all that. She looked past all of that and still wanted to give her the best gift that she thought she could give her. And man, I was like, it's what's coming from your heart. Do not let other people influence what you want to do, because what you really want to do is coming from you. And that's how she influenced me. That's how she influenced me. And I influenced her by giving her a voice within me. She came to me to have her voice heard. And I gave her that opportunity to have her voice heard. And what she gave to me eventually was to not let external influences and external people stop you from doing what you want to do in your heart. That's becoming a person of influence. Sometimes you don't even know it. The people around you that you influence. Thank you for listening. Man, I got pretty warm inside discussing that, telling that story, and I hope you got something out of it yourself. Once again, I'm doing training March 30th from 11:30 to 12:30, and then I'm doing it again from 7 to 8 p.m. There's a link that I'll put below, and that I also will put on some social media on LinkedIn. And man, I'm full. I'm full. Thank you for listening.